Okay, so I haven't done a video in 4 weeks now, and that's because, like the last one, very little has changed. Still waiting on these windows. We're on week 21, and yeah, they're still not in, but we've got a date, the 23rd of October now, so we're on the 12th or 13th now, so yeah, not very long. It's Friday today and it's a week on Monday, and as soon as they're in, then they reckon it's going to be 4 or 5 weeks until the whole thing's finished, which will be really good, because as soon as those windows are in and it's secure and locked up, we can start putting the finishing stuff in, which is basically all the expensive stuff. That's why they're not doing it, because it's all open, so someone can just come in and nick our boiler. Yeah, very little's changed, but I suppose this is just a video to show you how little has been done in the last 4 weeks, which is pretty much all just plastering work. So it's plastered all in here, which is great. This is all plastered out in here. And so I don't think anything's changed in this bedroom. Still hasn't obviously plastered the walls with windows on. He's plastered all in here. So there's where that steel is behind there. That's where our shower is going to be. Out through here, we had a bit of a discussion the other day on, oh, it's starting to rain, on what to do with this landscape thing. And Dan was right in what he was saying. He was saying we don't want to get too much, flattening out for too far back here, because we want this to be like a kind of a private area, because it's all our bedrooms and everything. So I imagine what we'll do is probably take this, because we don't want a bank going straight into the building, because I mean it's all fine being, it's been fine this year because it's been so dry, but dealing with these banks on a in a wet winter, and they're all sort of sliding in. Remember the ground was up to here on the barn because it had just all fallen into it, so we'll probably take that back out to about the ditch that side, to about that side of the ditch, so it's sort of flat to about there, and then just gradually go up. Same over that far side, just sort of take that back. Well, by the time we get to there, it'll probably be in and then just graded back as much as we can, without it being too extensive. The only extensive bit of work will be sort of this, so that if we go to the middle of the apex, which is, I'm standing just underneath it, so we want like that. So if we make that a square up to where those containers are, so that square round we want to take out and then have steps up there, and then that side will just be graded off going into the field, so we don't have this complete bank just graded off and out. But it will still be nice because it will be higher up, so it will keep that sort of side private. And yeah, and then use some of that ground to build up just a little bit around there. Then it will go across there and then drop down a bit, and then have a track that goes, so across there, drop down a bit, track that goes around and up there. But because it's behind the drop down, you won't see it as much, so it will come down around there, and it won't sort of make too much hard standing across that view. So yeah, they've been digging out this water pipe, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to put that, where they've got that tap there, they're going to put it behind the tree, because at the moment, to stop our water, the only tap is right at the top of the drive. So behind that tree we'll have just a little tap, so if we ever have a problem with the water or anything, you can just nip there and turn it off, rather than having to jump on a quad bike and run all the way up, drive all the way up to the top. So in here, all exactly the same. plastering's done. Oh, they put this handrail on. So they put a different one on, which was again it was like sort of round. It was just flat to the plaster, and it was round, and it looked horrible. So they've got this like sort of shadow gap thing. I imagine they'll just put some filler in there, and then we can paint it. We want to just paint it all white. So it'll be like a shadow gap, like the same that will go on the skirting. So they got this cedar wood for in the porch, which is really pink actually. It's sort of, I assume it'll weather, but it will be pretty slow weathering because it'll be under a roof. It's like really quite pink, but it smells really nice. And I can remember Nick saying that it does really smell really nice in there because it'll be all around you. And so that is going on the walls in here, which they've got all the battens on and everything for. And he's done the ceiling, so the ceiling's going to be like that, just like sort of like a white render thing. I didn't know it was going to be like that, but yeah, I think it looks nice. So yeah, and what else has changed? Nothing really. Absolutely, yeah. They have got this is something that's changed. They have put this slider thing in for this pocket door. Yeah, and so that's going to go into there. Which, if we go around the other side, they've made a bracket thing for. Well, not a bracket thing, so this is the wall that it's going to go behind. So as soon as they've got that door in and it's sliding all right, then I assume they'll plasterboard all this up, which makes this pointless now because they left that exposed, obviously, but it's not going to be because there's going to be a wall in front of it. I suppose they didn't need to plasterboard it either. There you go. So yeah, that's all that done, all plastered in there. Yes, outside again. So stuff that's changed out here is BT have been and they said where they're going to put their pole and everything, and they dropped off the ducting, so we've got ducting instead of armoured cable so that we can feed fibre through it if it comes, rather than having just a buried armoured copper cable. So ducting they've put in, goes down underground, and pops out over here where our pole's going to go. It's there, and it's going to go to a pole that is going to, the top of it will be over there. So, because they've got to replace a pole over there, I think. Yeah, so top of the pole is going to be there. There you go. It's all the same. So yeah, so we want a bit of ground built up here, so we'll use that saw to build that up here. This just needs to come up a little bit. You see, so what we'll want to have is sort of like paving, just, a bit below this damp course here. So paving up to there, so it hasn't got to come up much at all. So yeah, I think that's about it. Very, very little. It's very unexciting at the moment. But as soon as those windows come in on Monday, I'll be doing a video after that. And so that little patch has been plastered. That's it, that's happened upstairs. Yeah, I would go over there, but nothing's happened. Cool. So that's week 21.